you ever looked in the mirror and felt like a stranger was staring back at you? Not because your features have changed, but because something essential feels absent. We don't lose ourselves in a single moment. It happens incrementally, subtly, without announcement, and by the time we recognize it, we're submerged in noise, expectations, and roles that never truly belong to us. But why does this happen? And more importantly, is it possible to return? The slow drift away, it begins almost imperceptibly. A small concession, a boundary dismissed, a truth silenced to avoid discomfort. Gradually, we contort ourselves to fit external frameworks until the line between authentic self and constructed persona begins to blur. You wake up, you function, but internally, there's an absence, the spark, the sense of meaning, the aliveness that once felt undeniable. And in that quiet void, we begin to disappear. The noise that consumes us, we exist in an era of overstimulation, perpetually connected, perpetually performing, perpetually distracted. But this constant engagement comes at a steep cost, the erosion of inner stillness. Cognitive science affirms this. When the brain is overwhelmed, it loses its ability to filter what's meaningful. We become emotionally desensitized, mentally disoriented, and chronically depleted. We stop being attentive. And when attention fades, so does our connection to the self. This is how we vanish. We stop noticing. We stop reflecting. We stop existing in any real sense of the word. The masks we wear. We adopt personas to cope, to be palatable, to be safe. The dependable one, the resilient one, the quiet one. But over time, the mask adheres so tightly, we forget the contours of our actual face. We become the role, not out of desire, but because it offered security in exchange for authenticity. But here's the paradox. The mask that shields us also suffocates us. When it hits, you feel it in the middle of the night. When silence reveals everything noise tried to cover, you feel it while smiling among others, yet feeling miles away, detached, invisible. You feel it when you fulfilled every external expectation, but nothing resonates as true, and no one even notices your absence, because on the outside, you never left. Returning to self. Yes, but it requires something rare in our world, stillness. You return by listening to the subtle voice you've long silenced, through self-awareness, through breath, through moments of radical presence. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to rewire. But before the mind transforms, consciousness must awaken, because what you don't acknowledge, you can't repair, and what you refuse to feel, you'll never heal. The return begins not with action, but with attention. You sit with yourself, not to fix, not to critique, but to witness. You ask the deeper questions. What parts of me have I sacrificed? Who have I been performing for? Who was I before I began to disappear? And piece by piece, you remember, and slowly, you begin again. Final message. You are not your overthinking. You are not your curated image. You are not the silence you've learned to endure. You are what remains beneath it all. Even if you felt lost for years, you are not gone. You are still here, still aware, still whole, waiting to be reclaimed. So breathe, let it be real, and come back to yourself, because no matter how far you've drifted, you are still here.